All right, well, I guess do y'all call this golden hour? It's not quite setting yet, but it's about right. So anyway, out here to feed the crowd. And there is one thing here not like the others. Let's check that out. This is not like the others. Why is that? Well, that is what we call the working pen, where we'll have a few goats in here Wednesday during ultrasounds again, and also Saturday, tomorrow, the 23rd, as I trim some hooves and some stuff like that, rework some of these girls that are going to kid first here in about a month, 34 days, something like that. Anyway, this area of our pens, now we're just I don't know, handful of years into this, but when we started, we just went out and thought, hey, you know, a basic, here, let's do this. Let's get some wildlife in the scenario. So anyway, when we started this, we just bought a bunch of panels to kind of panel the perimeter in. Yeah, we could have done it better with field fence or something like that, a little more cost effective per foot, but at the time it was just me. I have a zero fencing experience. I come from row crop farming. That's about it. So not a lot of livestock experience. We did have sheep when I was little. So anyway, we know this was not going to be the most ideal situation, but what happens is they get to fighting over here when we have them in these pens. Brett's trying to get in anywhere because I've got grains in there. But anyway, they get into these pens and they start to fighting and pushing. Mystique here, she's one of the bigger offenders. Okay, I don't need buck love, but she's one of the bigger offenders. And eventually, they pop all the clips off my fence posts, which is fine. In this case, they're coming in and they're knocking down the grass. So not a big deal, but what we don't want to happen is a bunch of them like this to get in here, because as you can see, we're starting to get some very, very pregnant bellies. And you've got a couple of these more timid ones, like Peaches, not necessarily Ivory, but Hope and Faith, Spitfire here. She's in here with Brett to be bred. She is a goat that would be for sale. She's 50%. But when you get in these trapped areas, just like Shayna said in her abortion video, this is not what we want. Sorry, Brett's trying to love on me. Because we don't want them fighting, getting stuck in here, not being willing to use that exit. And so they get to fight and end up with a lot of body shots. And we don't want that. So anyway, what I'd like to see, like, this is ultimately fine for now, this perimeter fence. But if I had to do it over again, it probably would have been something else, but it works for now. That being said, everything over here, I don't like being panels because, here, let me see if I can show you. Can you see that line? How it's leaning? That's from all the fighting. If you've got goats, you know. If you watch Larson Farms, if you know, you know. But that fence has got to come down. It needs to be reinforced. Either I need to put boards on it, like I did aesthetically over here, or who knows, maybe I go crazy and use guardrail. No, because that's expensive. I can't afford that. I've thought about having buying or having some continuous panels made with a lot closer gaps, because ultimately we all know if there's a gap in it, a goat's going to try to get stuck. So if we can eliminate that or something, that would be nice. But anyway, didn't plan on throwing this in a video, but when I came out to do chores, here they all were trying to get some fresh grass. This little area we call the pasture pen. It is pretty well trampled down. A little bit of the crappy foxtail grass and stuff like that's out here. I did spray this earlier, well, maybe a couple months ago. I came out here with the lawnmower and the trailer and a little sprayer in it, and I sprayed this down. Pretty much cleaned up the junk in it. What I really need to do is get some of these dead trees, because we all know goats kill every tree they're around. Get some of these dead tree stumps and stuff out of here with the tree puller and try to bring this back up in health, because this is really the only pasture area we have. So otherwise they're pretty much dry lotted. We do have a fair amount of fertilizer, but this back here is where our septic laterals are, and I've been, as you can see, I got these little like tram lines mowed out, and I've basically just got that done so that way if we get some money put aside or something, we can at least come back here and fence this area that's been mowed and knocked down over our septic laterals, so at least they can graze that. Oh, somebody's got their head stuck in the fence trying to get the grain, and now Brett's trying to get them. So I'm gonna go alleviate this situation before somebody gets hurt. Well, now we know why. You know, Brett's taking advantage. Oh yeah, see, she wasn't stuck. My dumb butt just left the grain way too close. Okay, now I want you to breed this one. So let's get... Oh, come on, Spitfire. I want to make sure you're covered. So anyway, as of right now, Brett is our only boy, and I need to, probably should run him through the chute tomorrow too. Give him a cleanup, because he hasn't been cleaned up on his hooves since breeding season started. Settle down. So anyway, he should probably go through the chute again. Did you get all worked up? I know you're not wormy. Anyway, you know, just an average night. Your fence is tore down. Walk away. Goats start getting in. Goats started getting in grain buckets. And then you have Lizzie over here. See how that gate is bent? Yeah, that's because you can see the gap here. Now Spotty, she'll push a gate. She'll push a tree like a tree stump. If there's goats in the pen, they're fighting. She'll push a stump. She'll push a post. She won't headbutt another goat. But Lizzie will stand over here and destroy everything I own. So if it's not our 4 kids in the house tearing things up, dropping everything because they're little, spilling everywhere, it's the goats outside tearing stuff up. So yep, this is why me and Shayna can't have anything nice. Okay guys, well, we're getting ready to do our working of a few goats here before kidding starts. And if you've ever wondered how we do our bolusing, this is how. So we've got some of the larger cattle copper boluses. We just break them or crack them open. Here I've got a little hole in the top of one, and then we measure them out with this little scale. We're putting about 7 grams in them right now for the size of the goats. And then we use our go-gurt like so. Just cut some tops off of some 6mm syringes. And then here is our little goat parfait. Put a little go-gurt in, pull the syringe down, dump the 7 grams in there, top it off. Works for us. So anyway, just prepping some stuff for now. We'll be outside to work those few goats here in a few minutes. Okay guys, I'm gonna stand kind of close here for a second. It's pretty, it's not real windy, but 10 to 20 mile an hour today. Some rain showers for this evening, overnight. So we probably won't do a whole lot of talking, and most of you have seen us do this before. If you're new to the channel, we are gonna work a few goats here. Got the hoof boss out. I'm gonna trim some hooves up here before kidding gets started. We don't have a ton of goats on the place like in the past or even a few years ago. There's just like 20 some does bred or to be bred. So we're gonna work our small groups. I think we're maybe gonna work 8 or something like that today, because we've got them broke up into smaller kidding groups to manage it over the course of a couple, 2 or 3 months. Spread the babies out a little bit. But anyway, I've got to patch some, you can see it, got to patch some fence over here that obviously I encountered last night. Just gonna wire that up. I need to do something different with this line because when we work goats, they all fight. Actually, I'd love to just buy the tub sweep system for this, but that's an extra like $4,000, so that's not in the cards for a while. Anyway, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna work this group over here by the little shed. Sorry, the glare's bad. I can't even see while I'm filming. We're gonna work those 5 or 6 girls over there, and then we'll probably grab these girls here. There's just 3 of them. Grace, 1049, and Crazy. 1049 actually somehow, in the grand scheme of everything, escaped all of her pre-breeding workup. So Shayna will actually probably, as she just talked in that abortion video, Grace will probably, or excuse me, 1049 will probably be the one that does actually get an LA shot. Everybody else I think is probably okay. I don't know if they'll get one, but her for sure. I know for a fact that she needs her hooves worked. She's at least got one of them that's, you know, needing it. But anyway, everybody will get hooves, some basic wormer if needed, any AD&E gel. Sometimes we'll use this. Shayna might give them some of that. We've got everything out here, but we won't use it all. So yeah, we'll check famachas and worm as needed, but that's about it. Like I said, we probably won't talk in this, maybe just a time lapse or something like that. But I got to get all of these goats moved out of the working area and get them brought around and get these guys in here. A little bit of circus charades, but we're gonna get all these ones that are about to kid, get them out into a bigger area so they can stretch their legs before babies come. We have cut their grain loads back a little bit as of recently, here the last few weeks, because we don't want the babies getting too big. We don't want pregnancy toxemia. They're probably even still getting a little more feed than what we would really have to give them grain wise, but such is life. We'll manage it as we go. Everybody's looking good. As Shayna said, we're starting to see some little bags starting on some of these girls. So anyway, I guess I'll start to fixing some fence and we'll get at it. Yeah, so figured maybe I should include you guys in this. As you can see over here, I got goats ruining everything I own, which is pretty standard. So here comes the boss. But anyway, I'm just gonna put you on a time lapse for now, get these knocked out. Okay, so just a little, this is always a thing. Do what you feel for your farm, what your vet says. So Shayna just gave a shot, and that was a Bosie. You've probably heard us talk a little bit about it. We're never really sure how to bring that up in a video because you can OD on it. The goats give them too much. How much did you give her?
1.5.
So 1.5 cc's is what Sunny got. But because I'd asked Shayna what she was all gonna give them, and she said, you know, a year or so ago we had such good luck. Was that last year?
No, that was
2 years ago?
Springs ago.
2 springs ago. All the goats that we kicked out, later, we gave a shot at Bosie before they kidded. And so, you know, the kids just popped right up. So what we're going to do is give them a little booster of Bosie, for our area anyway. It's needed. These November and December girls are going to get kicked out into what we call the pasture pen. But anyway, like I said, if you see it, she got some wormer. She got some of that AD&E. I trimmed her hooves. You gave her a little bit of Bosie. Like I said, just wormer as needed. But that's about it. So back to the time lapse.
Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe not.
Before he goes on, I had read somewhere that it takes God, it was either 2 weeks. When you give bow seed before they kid, you have to give it a certain amount of time before because it takes so long for it to like cross the fetal, not the fetal membranes, to cross somehow to get to the baby. I can't get the words out right now. But it wasn't like you can't give it the day before she kids. It takes time for it to actually like cross over and get to the baby. So for whatever that's worth, you can do your own research and decide if that's something that would work for you guys.
Also, she was just doing this. So just paintbrush, Tridine 7. We're painting the tail heads with iodine. I know like over there they do have an iodized block, cobalt iodized block, and even a regular iodized block, but just to help. That's a real good way. You've seen us do that before. Paint the tail head, and if they absorb it right away, they're deficient. If it sits around for a little while, then you know they're in a good place. So it doesn't hurt to try that. Okay, I'm gonna grab the iodine and I'm gonna kind of show you what this looks like. Maybe we've showed you before. Yeah, she doesn't like it. So if you can see, that's kind of what we did. We just painted that tail head with iodine. And then depending on how fast that dries, that'll kind of tell us if there's any deficiency showing up. Alright guys, well that's a wrap. So we did, I don't know, 8 goats, I think, is all we did. So it took a little while, usually a couple hours. As you saw, oh, my phone, I ended up grabbing my phone for something, so I didn't get the last couple, 2 or 3 goats. But anyway, so we got them kind of worked over. Hooves are at least knocked down. I'm not after anything perfect. Just get them cleaned down to the kind of that pink tissue color like you're after, because these girls won't get touched for another 2 or 3 months, probably another quarter of the year. By the time they have their babies, here in another month or two, you know, we get to weaning and stuff like that. So it'll be a little while, so it's good to get them knocked down and try to do it as least stressful on them as possible. You know, keeping the other goats away. We didn't have any goats fighting except for across the fence. And we got Brett over here loving on one horn. So anyway, so we got him in here. We've got a couple of the, got like Fanny and Faith and maybe Ivory and Spotty, I think, in this pen. Just kind of trying to spread the who's who apart. So this will be more of your January or so group, I would say, or later. I think we're November, December, January, who knows. It kind of all got spread out, so who knows. It could be 4 months worth of kidding a few goats a month, so not a big deal. But anyway, I'm going to get some stuff cleaned up here and probably do something for lunch. And then, I don't know, we'll see how ambitious I am today. I know we're supposed to, here in eastern Nebraska, we've got an 80% chance of thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow. which means I can't get the pickup around to the kidding shed if I want to clean that. So we'll see what happens, see how ambitious I am today. But if nothing else, stay tuned, and maybe we'll jump into another part of a video for this. Maybe I'll catch you up with the does and who's still on the farm.